All right, getting into some serious AI research today
Oh, yeah.
with this paper titled CoAT Chain of Associated Thoughts Framework for Enhancing Large Language Models Reasoning. You've probably interacted with LLMs. They're the brains behind chatbots and text generation tools.
Yeah.
But what if we told you these AI powerhouses have a hidden
They're
weakness?
like sprinters,
Oh,
incredibly fast,
okay.
but struggle with complex reasoning.
Interesting.
Think of solving a puzzle. You
Okay.
don't just instantly know the answer, right? You
Yeah.
ponder,
Yeah.
you make connections,
Mm-hmm.
and you might even search for more clues. That's
Right.
the slow thinking LLMs lack.
Okay.
And that's where code steps in.
So code is like giving these AI sprinters marathon training, turning
Exactly.
them into strategic thinkers.
Exactly.
Okay.
CoAT introduced two key components,
Okay.
Monte Carlo Tree Search, MCTS,
Mm-hmm.
and associative memory.
Okay, I'm somewhat familiar with NCTS,
Right.
but associative memory sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
What's the big deal with that?
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Imagine you're working on a problem,
Okay.
and suddenly a memory pops up,
Mm-hmm.
or you decide to Google something
Mm-hmm. All
for
right.
more information.
Okay.
CoAT gives AI this ability to access and integrate new information during the thinking process.
Wow.
It's like having an external brain
Okay.
that constantly expands its knowledge.
Hold on. This is different from just feeding an AI tons of data up front.
Exactly.
It's about giving it the ability to learn as it goes.
Precisely.
Okay.
This is a game changer.
Yeah.
It means the AI isn't limited to what it was initially trained on.
Right.
It can adapt and evolve its reasoning
Okay.
based on new information it encounters.
This is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So how does this associative memory actually work?
Well, it's more like a sophisticated search and retrieval system.
Okay.
It's the AI's reasoning. It can query external sources,
Okay.
like knowledge graphs, or even other AIs.
Wow.
The paper gets quite technical here,
Right.
but think of it as the AI dynamically building connections
Okay.
between its current thought process
Okay.
and relevant external information.
Wow. So we've got this AI that can think step by step,
Yes.
explore different possibilities,
Yes.
and even access new information as it goes.
Exactly.
But does all this actually make it smarter?
That's what the researchers set out to test.
Okay.
And their findings are pretty remarkable.
Okay.
They put CoAT through a series of evaluations, and the results suggest that yes,
Okay.
this approach significantly boosts the AI's reasoning capabilities.
Okay. I'm hooked.
Okay.
Give me the highlights.
All right.
What kind of improvements did they see?
Well, for starters, CoAT
Yeah.
demonstrated a major jump in accuracy.
Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
If you have more information.
Yeah.
And can explore different angles,
Uh-huh.
you're more likely to arrive at the correct answer.
Exactly.
But it's not just about getting the right answer.
There's definitely more.
There's
What's
both.
fascinating is that CoAT also produced more coherent and diverse responses.
Interesting.
Imagine the difference between a student who just regurgitates facts
Right.
and one who truly understands the concepts
Okay.
and can explain them in different ways. That's what we're seeing with CoAT.
Okay. Now we're talking about AI that's not just smarter,
Right.
but also more articulate and creative.
Exactly.
Were there any specific tasks where CoAT really stood out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
One area where CoAT really shined was in multi-hop question answering.
Okay.
This is where the AI needs to piece together information
Okay.
from multiple sources
That's
to answer a question,
right.
something traditional LLMs often struggle with.
Why is that such a challenge for those fast-thinking LLMs?
Think of it like this.
Okay.
They're great at processing information in a linear way, but when it comes to making connections between different pieces of information,
All right.
they tend to hit a wall.
Okay.
CoAT's ability to dynamically integrate new information gives it a huge advantage
Okay.
in these complex reasoning tasks.
So CoAT is breaking free from that linear thinking
Exactly.
and approaching problems more like we do?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
But how does it stack up against other approaches?
Right.
There are other methods for giving AI access to external knowledge, right?
Right.
So,
The researchers compared CoAT to several existing methods,
okay.
and the results are quite telling.
All right, give me the lowdown.
Okay.
How did CoAT perform?
Remarkably well. Not only did it outperform those other methods on various reasoning tasks, but it even held its own against models specifically designed for code generation.
Wait, what?
I know, right?
Code generation.
It's pretty surprising.
That seems like a completely different ballgame.
The key takeaway here
Yeah.
is that CoAT achieved these impressive results
Okay.
without any specialized training for code generation.
So it's not just a one-trick pony. CoAT's got some serious versatility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This suggests that CoAT could potentially be applied
Mm-hmm.
to a wide range of tasks
Okay.
without the need for expensive and time-consuming fine-tuning.
Right.
It's a glimpse into a future
Yeah.
where AI could be much more adaptable and flexible than what we have today.
This is all incredibly exciting.
Yeah, it is.
But before we get too carried away,
Okay.
let's take a step back and consider what this all means.
Right.
We've got this new framework
Uh-huh.
that seems to be pushing the boundaries of what AI can do.
Yes.
What are the implications here?
Well, the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
Okay.
This isn't just an academic exercise.
Right.
If we can create AI that can reason more like humans,
Mm-hmm.
it opens up a whole new world of applications.
Yeah.
In fields like medicine,
Okay.
scientific discovery,
Yeah.
and even policy making.
All right. I'm officially intrigued.
Good.
Let's dive deeper into those potential applications
Okay.
and what this could mean for the future of AI.
Sounds good. Welcome back.
Let's delve into those specific experiments that tested CoAT's capabilities.
Okay.
Last time you mentioned how CoAT outperformed other models,
Uh-huh.
even specialized ones.
Right.
Give me the details.
All right.
Especially how it excelled in those multi-hop question answering tasks.
The researchers used two data sets for this.
Okay.
HotPot-K
Mm-hmm.
and two wiki multi-hop-K.
Okay.
These data sets are specifically designed to test an AI's ability
Okay.
to reason across multiple sources of information.
So it's not just about finding a needle in a haystack,
Right.
but connecting the dots between different haystacks.
Exactly. And this is where CoAT's slow thinking,
Mhm.
its deliberative approach really shines.
Right.
Remember how CoAT can access new information as it reasons?
Right, that external brain concept.
Exactly.
So how did CoAT actually perform?
Okay.
Give me the metrics.
They use two primary measures,
Yeah.
exact match and F1 score.
Okay.
Exact match is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
It measures how often CoAT's answer perfectly matched the correct answer.
All right.
F1 score is a bit more nuanced,
Yeah.
taking into account both precision and recall.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, how well CoAT avoided both false positives and
Right.
false negatives.
Okay, so higher scores on both mean CoAT is doing a good job.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And what they found was that CoAT consistently outperformed other methods
Okay.
on both data sets,
Okay.
achieving significantly higher exact match and F1 scores.
Wow.
This really highlights the advantage of CoAT's dynamic information integration.
Right.
Complex reasoning.
That's impressive, but how did they ensure a fair comparison?
Okay.
I mean, the quality of that external knowledge source could also influence the results.
Right, you bring up a good point. The researchers were careful about that.
Okay.
They used the same external knowledge source for all the models tested.
Mm-hmm.
So the playing field was level.
Okay.
The differences in performance came down to the reasoning ability of the framework itself.
So it's not just about having access to more information,
Right.
but about how intelligently you can use that information.
Precisely.
Okay.
CoAT's combination of MCTS and associative memory proved to be a winning formula.
You also mentioned CoAT being tested on code generation tasks.
Right.
That seems like a leap from answering questions.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Surprisingly well, actually.
Okay.
They used three data sets, whereas
Mhm.
human MBPP
Okay.
and human Xiaol.x all designed to test an AI's ability to write functional code.
Right.
And what's fascinating is
Mhm.
that CoAT, without any specialized training for code generation,
Right.
achieved performance comparable to models
Okay.
specifically fine-tuned for that task.
Hold on in the Euro. Shouldn't a model trained specifically for code generation have a significant advantage?
You would think so.
Yeah.
But that's the interesting thing about CoAT's slow thinking
Okay.
and dynamic learning.
Okay.
It's not about memorizing specific code patterns.
Right.
It's about understanding the underlying logic
Okay.
and then applying that logic
Mhm.
to solve the problem.
So even though code wasn't explicitly trained on code,
Right.
it was able to figure it out by reasoning through the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
This has some pretty significant implications.
Okay.
It suggests CoAT could be applied to a much wider range of tasks
Mhm.
than traditional LLMs
Okay.
without the need for
Oh, wait. Someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
That's a great question, and it gets to the heart of how CoAT works.
Yeah, let's unpack this a bit.
So when we talk about social memory in this context, we're not referring to human collective memory.
Okay.
Instead, it's about how CoAT accesses and utilizes external knowledge.
Gotcha.
Think of it as the AI's ability to tap into a shared pool of information.
Okay, like that external brain we were discussing.
Exactly. That external brain is a form of social memory.
Right.
Because it contains knowledge that has been created and curated by others.
So it's like the AI is learning from a collective knowledge base.
Precisely. And it's not just reading the information.
Right.
It's actively integrating that information into its reasoning process.
Okay, so it's dynamically weeding in what it learns.
Exactly. And that dynamic integration is a key part of CoAT's strength.
Thanks for that clarification. It's helpful to see how this aligns with our earlier discussion.
You're welcome.
So now where were we?
We were about to talk about how CoAT achieved all this without expensive and time-consuming fine-tuning.
That's a huge deal.
It is.
Like having a single AI model that could be a doctor, a scientist, a programmer.
So maybe not all rolled into one,
Right.
but you're getting the idea.
Right.
CoAT's ability to generalize across different domains
Yeah.
is what makes it so groundbreaking.
So these experiments weren't just about proving that CoAT works.
No.
They were about showing us what's possible with this new approach to AI reasoning.
Precisely.
Right.
They've demonstrated the power of combining structured exploration with dynamic learning.
Okay.
And that opens up a whole new world of possibilities for LLM development.
Were there any limitations to the experiments?
Well, any areas where CoAT didn't quite live up to expectations, it's important to remember that CoAT is still in its early stages.
Right.
The experiments they ran were impressive,
Right.
but limited in scope. We need to see how CoAT performs on even more complex tasks
Okay.
in real-world settings
Right.
before we can truly assess its full potential.
Fair enough. What are the key takeaways from all this? What does this research tell us about the future of AI?
The biggest takeaway
Yeah.
is that we're on the verge of a major breakthrough in AI reasoning.
Okay.
CoAT has shown us it's possible to create AI that thinks more like humans,
Right.
learning and adapting and generalizing across domains.
Okay.
This could revolutionize countless fields,
Wow.
from medicine to education to scientific discovery.
This has been quite a journey so far.
It has.
Before we wrap up,
Okay.
I'm curious about one more thing.
All right.
You mentioned the researchers are already working on making code even more sophisticated.
Right.
What are they focusing on?
One area they're exploring is how to incorporate more diverse types of knowledge into that external brain.
Right.
Right now, it's mainly focused on factual information.
Okay.
But what if the AI could also learn from stories, images, even emotions?
That's a fascinating idea.
It is.
An AI that can understand not just the facts,
Right.
but the nuances of human experience.
Yeah,
That would be truly remarkable.
it would indeed.
Yeah.
And it's just one of the many exciting possibilities
Right.
that CoAT has opened up.
Okay.
I think we're just beginning to glimpse the
Yeah,
Can we wrap up with the conclusion in one sentence?
You're right. It did sound a little too abrupt.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
We got a little carried away with that excitement.
Okay, let's try to give it a better conclusion.
Okay, so where were we?
We were talking about the potential of this technology.
Right, and we need to make a better ending.
We were about to get into the potential challenges.
Okay, but be mindful of the wrap up this time.
Okay, it's clear that this is promising and that this has been an eye-opening deep dive.
It has been, leaving us with more than just facts, but also a sense of awe.
Yeah, and that sense of awe is at the evolving landscape of artificial intelligence.
Okay, I think that lands a little better as a conclusion.
I agree.
Thank you for joining us on the deep dive.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
We've been exploring the CoAT framework and its potential to revolutionize AI reasoning.
Yeah, it's clear that CoAT is capable of impressive feats.
But I can't help but wonder about the flip side of this coin.
Right.
What about the potential challenges?
Yeah, it's important to consider those as well.
What are some of the